these are my note cards, my introduction, main point 1, main point 2, main point 2, main point 3, and then lastly my conclusion. You would imagine that once immigrants go into a new country, they would disappear all their struggles, especially going to a country of freedom. Well, I certainly did. When immigrants start going to a new country, they face many barriers that are given to them when settling into a new country. The immigrant process should be modified into a two-step process that can aid different cultures through communication and also settling benefits and challenges that they're given. Today I'm going to walk you through the barriers that immigrants face and how we can provide resources that can help them aid through these challenges. Now that you know about the struggles that immigrants face, I'm going to talk about how discuss these struggles and challenges that they face whenever they're settled. Immigrants are not given enough resources when settling into a new country. According to Bader in 2023, it expresses an immigrant story. It explains how these challenges when migrating to a new country are very difficult, especially trying to comfortably settle. This family, not knowing English or anything, finds themselves at a disadvantage, especially with their children getting put into a lower 2-level classes or grade level from their 8 other aged peers, since not knowing the language or language barriers. This family had also explained that the first-hand stress of navigating housing, food insecurity, language barriers, new schools, and even foreign healthcare were many challenges that they faced when settling into this country. Also, according to Jones in 2022, they had documented that real-life immigrants' problems and backgrounds that they struggled. It explained how self-sufficient this new country was, especially on languages and these language barriers that were given. Now that you know about the barriers that immigrants go through and struggle with, I'm going to explain how this modification can be a benefit aid. The immigration process should be modified to accommodate the new coming immigrants while going to a two-step process. When immigrants apply for an immigration process and modifying for the status, they should automatically be enrolled into English second language classes. Krember in 2023 had explained that immigrant parents had taken classes and how they had actually benefited them. They were offered these ESL classes and had seen that they would equip them with workforce and also with continued education. Many of these parents still even signed up for college classes to continue their education. This program has helped many families with the next steps and resources that are being available. Since the adjustment to a new country can be very difficult, establishing counseling and can be put on to other family members. Establishing counseling for both children and families can be very beneficial and comforting for these families. Payne in 2023 explained that Miami-Dade public schools had a lot of immigrant new students that were enrolled. These students were from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and even Venezuela. As the growing pool of students had risen for them, they had seen that there are many not modified barriers that were given for modified barriers that they had seen in these students. One was a lot of coping with unfamiliarity. These teachers and public school workers had seen that providing counseling would help them express their experience that they had gone through and talk about the anxiety that they had felt. Now that I've talked about the modifications that can be implemented through this immigration process, I'm going to explain how they can be enacted and how this experience can be looked on. Once the U.S. implements this process, it will maximize the resources that immigrants have seen and benefit them with everyone. These modifications can be managed on many different families and the opportunities that can be given. ESL classes can break these barriers and change the direction of these families that they can navigate throughout the new world that they're settling in. Victoria in 2023 recorded counseling sessions for the access of these new families. And she had noticed that it would benefit them very, very much on all these family members having the resources of counseling to benefit them all. Now that you've seen and visualized the circumstances that these immigrants are going through migrating to a new country, let me conclude with the problem that immigrants face and how we can aid them with different cultures and communicate it. The immigration process, especially to new immigrants, should be modified for this when coming into a new country. It should be a two-step process to help and aid different cultures with the communications and setting barriers that are set whenever they're settling. This will help aid and benefit the countries, these immigrants going into a new country, and the barriers that they face when settling. Now I want you to take a moment and think about the challenges and how they can be very effective and impactful for these immigrants when settling into a new country. I want you to take the opportunity to lend a helping hand and aid them through their struggles that they face, especially as communication and settling barriers. And that giving this helping hand can also benefit the U.S. and whoever through these struggles that they're given. Thank you.